the man suddenly discovered that the hotel he was staying in was shrinking every day. To confirm his suspicion, before going to bed he tied a rope between the walls of the room. But when he woke up the next day, the rope that had been completely taut the night before was strangely loose. This moment made him realize something was wrong. He quickly went outside to measure the distance in the hallway, and found that the walls he couldn't reach with his arms wide open last night now could be touched easily with a small stretch of his hand. Realizing that the hotel was indeed shrinking, he rushed to tell his colleagues about this terrifying thing. If it kept shrinking at this rate, they would all be crushed to death in the end. But his colleagues not only didn't believe him, they even told him not to disturb their work progress, since the hotel guests were still waiting for breakfast. Then they all pushed him out. This moment made Nick feel deeply helpless. He didn't even know how long he had been trapped in this hotel. On the first day he checked into the hotel, he became the hotel's chef, and every day he was responsible for cracking eggs. Meanwhile, the strange events at the hotel continued. One day while Nick was using the bathroom, the doorknob suddenly started pulling violently. Then a strange sound came from outside. He quickly explained that he wasn't the person they were looking for, but to his shock several hands suddenly reached through the door. This terrified Nick to the point of being at a loss. At first he tried to kick the hands away, but it had no effect. Luckily Nick said he was nothing, and the hands slowly retreated, but he was too scared to leave the bathroom after that. So Nick spent the night there. The next day his colleague Jim came to use the bathroom, and rescued him from inside. Nick knew he couldn't wait any longer, so he asked Jim where the exit of the hotel was. But Jim said he had worked at the hotel for 8 years, and had never left the hotel. At that moment he suddenly saw the hotel receptionist walk into the kitchen. Nick immediately prepared to go ask for clarification, but just as he turned around, the receptionist mysteriously disappeared. Realizing this was no place to stay any longer, Nick immediately went to the head chef to submit his resignation. To his surprise, the head chef immediately knelt down, pleading with Nick not to leave, saying that they were a team and couldn't function without anyone. Then the head chef said a bunch of nonsensical things. Seeing the head chef crying so sadly, Nick reluctantly decided to hold off on his resignation. Unexpectedly, this scene was seen by a colleague. Jim thought Nick was using this method to get a promotion, so he refused to speak to him, and even kicked Nick out of the dormitory after work. With no other choice, Nick went back to his original room to temporarily stay. But at that moment, the hotel fell into chaos. The head chef and his companions suddenly started dancing in the kitchen. At the same time, the sound of musical instruments echoed down the hallway.